So what is Agile? Why do we need Agile approaches? We've moved from the industrial age to the digital age, often referred to as Industry 4.0. In this new age, change is a new norm. It's an environment where a month is a long time. It's an environment where things change very rapidly. So the predictable world that we had in the past, where we could identify all the requirements up front, we could then design and deliver the solution, has changed. Also, the customer has also changed. The customer now has a need, but doesn't always know what the solution is and what they need from that solution. And we also have an environment where the customer is willing to accept something that's not fully finished and working. They are prepared to accept something that will provide them value early and then accept updates to that solution. So what we need an approach that will embrace change, will enable us to get feedback, to respond to that feedback and deliver value early and often to the customer. A lot of the commentators, including a number of the leading project management organizations, now admit that most project portfolios contain a significant element of delivery that should apply an Agile approach. If we think about Agile, it's designed to reduce the risk of uncertainty. So it is designed to deliver on time. It's designed to deliver something that the customer wants. There is a myriad of frameworks and processes available in the Agile space. So it can be quite confusing for the customer to decide which approach to adopt. Personally, I believe that looking at the actual nature of what you're trying to deliver, look at the nature of the organization, and then decide which best practice to adopt is the right approach. Really what we need to look at is we need to look at the whole organization. Everything from the leadership team, the teams actually delivering the work, and the people that operate in what I refer to as the middle. So that would be delivery management professionals, project managers. Often what happens is the leadership are open to new ways of working and new approaches. Often Agile will break out organically as teams look at new ways of working. And then what happens is the kind of middle layer start to get a bit nervous because things are different, things are new. The world of where a project manager is controlling delivery, that mindset needs to shift. It needs to shift to more of a how can I empower and enable delivery as opposed to control it. And that's really a mindset that needs to permeate up and down the organization. I think we need to take the project management team and that middle layer on a journey. But really what we want to do is we want to focus more on the individuals and interactions as laid out in the manifesto over tools and processes. So we want that culture, we want that way of working over rigorously following processes. We want to put decisions down as low as possible. We want to enable the people that are close to the customer to work with that customer to find the right solutions. We are also enabling them as much as possible to react to change. And what we want them to do is we want them to reduce what can be in the past long cycles of design, build, test, deploy and learn to as short a cycle as possible, and reducing big requirements down into small manageable slices that we can deliver regularly and often We need to move away from a world where we are telling teams what it is they need to do and how they need to do it, to a world where we empower and enable what is now referred to as a knowledge worker. The people on the ground that have the skills and the knowledge to deliver the solution. Agile done properly, and by the way, doing Agile is hard, it takes time to master like anything else worth doing, is, I would say, as rigorous, as accountable, as visible as any other approach. I will admit, though, that often some teams will use it as an excuse to get round governance approaches. But perhaps that is a response to those governance approaches not being appropriate or stifling the way of working that that team want to adopt. So we've been working with our clients in a number of industry sectors recently to adopt Agile approaches. One of the most interesting examples was in an area that you would think would be a more traditional delivery environment, and that was designing and building a community centre. With Agile approaches and mindset, we managed to overlay those over the more traditional design, build, deliver, what is referred to waterfall cycle. With the built environment, we obviously need to sequentially build all the elements in the right order because we won't have the right fabric for the building. But the design phase was done in an agile fashion. We produced designs early and often to get feedback. And we only designed enough up front to get the superstructure of the building in place. And then what we did is we mocked up entire rooms in the interior so the customer could understand the look and feel. We also worked with the suppliers and the contractors in more of an agile way. So we had an overarching plan, but we also worked together closely on a 2-week heartbeat and cadence. So that supplier community got together regularly to talk about what was going well and not so well, so we could learn as we went. So it's really about that different mindset, that different way of thinking about things.